I don't know if Aja is exactly what I should be calling him, but you know, pronunciation's just not a big thing of mine. I need to scout faster. Whoa! I might just dump on that. Yep, doing it.
Medium levels of aluminum found. Scientific colony found.
That was just such a rude way to found. I love that I did it, but man was it rude. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go scavenger, so let's not have any iron on the map more than we absolutely have to have on the map. That was the whole play, right there. Well, that's another great scavenger spot for me, so hopefully that will work out well this game. We can see we have another scavenger player this game. He does not have as good a scavenger spot, only going to be getting 2 carbon a second as opposed to my 6, so I'm getting 3 times efficiency to him based on these current claims. You see a scientist who found a pretty good science spot. He's got some access to water, he's got some access to silicon. He might be a problem this game. And we see an expansive player who also found a decent location. He has some decent water tiles nearby, and he should be able to use them. Upgrade, water pump.
I just need to locate some spare
and what else? What else? Silicon. I actually really like that 1-2 silicon tile. I'm going to try and take that away. And then I've got 1 claim left. What do I really need? I think I'm going to use this last claim again on aluminum. We see there is decent aluminum over here as well. But the aluminum is close enough, and people haven't secured super huge amounts of it, that I think this will be okay. Oh, I didn't even see this aluminum here. This would have been better. That's closer. Oh well, whatever. I could also secure a geotherm, but not as concerned about that as a scavenger player. Interestingly enough, ooh, carbon scrubbing. Yeah. This is a weird patent this early in the game. This patent is so awkward this early in the game. I know we've got some new people here, or some newer players here. So carbon scrubbing is a really strong patent because it lets you totally ignore the carbon cost to make chemicals and to make electronics. The thing is, chemicals and electronics start the game at a very low price, generally speaking, right? They start the game at a very low price. So you have to wait until late game for it to really become effective to make chemicals or electronics. So carbon scrubbing coming up as an auction that early is very awkward because it's a very late game oriented auction. This idea of, I want to make these powerful resources and I don't want to have to pay the cost of carbon. I don't want to let anybody else control that and hold that over me. So what I was doing there was just kind of securing this idea of, I have excellent carbon production. Nobody can possibly get better carbon production than me for the current tiles that I have. And so I want to make sure
the black market is
that I will be able to use that carbon production late in the game when carbon becomes more valuable. That was the whole concept right there. I actually want to secure, like, I know I'm tanking carbon and helping out this scavenger player quite a bit by doing so, but I'm actually kind of okay with it. Because I just want to secure all this glass, which still punishes all players in the game, driving up this glass price. And securing a lot of glass for myself. Because they're going to need that glass to upgrade later. I'm going to have it secured already. I already purchased it. I tanked some of my markets in order to pull it off, but now I don't need so much money later on because I've got the glass secured. However, it does commit me away from the black market and kind of into just upgrading early in the game. So I'm going to need to keep doing that and make it effective in order to be in a good spot this game. Let's see. Dust storm going on, so I'd love to just get those 2 down. Probably just going to do the 2 this game. I need to claim 1 more tile. I could grab a little more water. Probably wouldn't go astray. Just grabbing water, so I think that's what we're going to do. I have a lot for now, but I think I'm going to need more later. There's not a lot of water on the map. Interestingly enough, our scientific player is gathering a large amount of water right here, which is strange for a scientific player. It can work, it's just strange. And I think we're going to try and make the fairly simple electrolysis play work this game. Now, I do have better access to electronics than everyone else in the game, and that's something I need to keep in mind in particular. So we'll see if we can make that work at all. I'm still not worrying about the black market. I don't think I can afford it. I think I need to, based on what I've done this game so far, go ahead and focus on upgrading as much as I can. Well, unfortunately, we have to fight that, so we will. Go away. I'm a scavenger. You made me mad. And we should be able to... We're not going to upgrade yet. We'll have some trouble affording buildings if we upgrade right away. So even though we can upgrade right now, we're going to wait. We're going to just wait until we can afford the buildings we want to put down, at least some of them. And then we'll take an upgrade. 9,000 for a claim? Nope. We're just going to keep driving this up. Claims are worth a lot. Like, claims are worth a lot of debt. For sure. So, 12,000 I am totally happy to pay. Now we're just going to wait. We're waiting for some of this aluminum to come in particular. And then we're going to upgrade. Alright, that should help out.
We'll have this done in a jiffy. I just need
Okay,
to
see, we still didn't have enough,
parts.
even waiting that long. So we're going to actually sell some silicon, try and get all this production up and secured. I'm actually going to do it that way. I might have wanted to claim this water tile, but like I usually like to claim tiles closer to my base because it generally feels like it makes
The
goon
black
squatting
market is online.
and a bit better, and it makes thinking machines significantly more viable if you just put more stuff next to your base. What are these? Solar panels. Okay, that's reasonable. Power's very expensive. Solar panels are good, you know. That's just kind of the way it works. We're not in power very hard, but I don't know if we should go any harder. So I'm not going to. I might just secure a little more water. See, we're leaking water now, and water's not very expensive yet. But if we go ahead and grab it now, then we'll manage to keep a stockpile going as more and more people consume more and more water. Oh, a power short, though. That's actually really unfortunate timing. Okay. Okay, we need to do something about this, which means we need to... Yep, we got power surged. We power surged somebody else. That is huge problems all of a sudden, because I chose to power surge somebody else and try and knock their power down. And we just got power surged ourselves. So what I'm actually going to do temporarily is get rid of these. I'm going to turn them into solar panels, and we'll turn them back later. Because I feel like that's what we have to do at this stage of the game. Electrolysis... Well, everybody got into electrolysis very similar time to when we did, so what I think we might do is just upgrade quite quickly and move into something like glass. Well, we can grab a claim. Better that than something like a mutiny at the moment. Glass is fairly expensive and fairly cheap to make right now. There's just this glass production already out, which is the concern. So if I can maybe push into farms instead, I can even scrap this electrolysis and just go into farms, quite frankly. Like, it's not making me much money at all. So I think that's what we'll try and do.
All these new people.
I know I just upgraded and I didn't need to upgrade to make that happen, but I also want to get the upgrade done and figure out what to do with it. As you can see, farms are so expensive to put down. Now we've upgraded, other people are in glass, but we're not in glass. We don't need to worry about that too much. What we want to maybe move into is something like electronics, which aren't very expensive, but we can hack them and try and make that work anyway. Here's thinking machines, which we talked about earlier. We could also just throw down literally like a bunch of solar panels right now, because they're not that expensive. Try and make money off this power and then figure out something else to put down later. So... they're a little expensive, but they're not too expensive. I mean, 3,000 for a solar panel, it's actually not that much. Silicon's not that pricey yet. I do kind of want a goon squad, though, as well. Unfortunately, there was no reason to really put down both of these solar panels yet instead of just pushing to a goon initially. So we're going to push to a goon now. We're going to set auto supply here, and then we'll get solar panels up, hopefully in time for day in particular. Steel short coming in is exceptionally unfortunate, because we are scavengers. We can see it happening, but these players might have a lot of steel stockpiled. Apparently not, because they're turning some of their steel off because of the power cost, but we have to be kind of careful with this. Alright. We're going to call that good.
The black
And go ahead and
market
put
is
down these
online.
solar panels. Well, those were poorly placed, but whatever. There, 5 solar panels. Somebody's mutinying our power again, which is frustrating. So we're just committing into this very, very hard. And hoping we have so much power online that nobody can cause us too much problems. Unfortunately, all this really does short-term is pay debt. But hopefully we have enough money coming in from the farms and the silicon in particular that it's okay. And look at this, we're paying off, we're making $4,000 a second on power, and then it all gets frozen, we're down to 700. But at least we made somebody do that. Carbon also getting expensive. We can see carbon getting expensive.
The black market is online.
And that's good, because we can still make electronics, and nobody else really can. And that's the basic idea behind that. I think I am going to go ahead and just Goon Squad, like, right here-ish. These will come back online before too terribly long. Hopefully at least get some out before power drops completely. Let's see. Our expansive player might be getting a lot of debt for this if he's leaving his buildings online. So hopefully that's the case. I think we might even power surge. Oh, an EMP came down. That solves it for us. We don't need to worry about power surging that now. This is so ridiculous. Surplus on iron. I could make some steel, quite frankly. I've been talking about other players not doing enough with steel, but power is just so valuable right now. That's what I'm sticking to. Okay. Well, we still have all the power production in the world compared to everybody else. Power's staying expensive. A lot of farms being put down. Really no electrolysis going on. We'll have to watch for that. But we've made more off farms than anybody else really can, so I think that's okay. Not a lot of stock buying going on in this game either, which is very interesting. A lot of players playing very conservatively in terms of attacking another player. I think a lot of the players in this game understand the idea that these pirates are worth a ridiculous amount of money. They understand the idea that when you attack another player, it opens somebody else to attacking you as well. And that can definitely be a difficulty. Hacker array for the carbon pile you have. That is something I'm definitely considering. I've got the hacker array working. I'm going to do power first because I think I can cause a lot of problems with that, and I've already established a huge amount of power production, so I kind of want to make that work for me if I can. We can see power's even going up right now because there's like almost no production for power online.
Market is online.
And I want to see how far I can push that with this power shortage, and then I'll probably do carbon afterward. I should Goon Squad this. Aluminum doing very, very nicely. Carbon still okay. How much money am I actually sitting on? About 120,000. Herbert's buying up himself. So I think we're going to respond to that. Oh, Clark's buying me. Never mind. Clark's sitting on a large amount of money as well. But Clark is a lot cheaper than I am. And he just expanded after purchasing my stock. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. That did not sound like a good idea to me. Also, I'm just going to tank aluminum at this point, because he just expanded and drove the price up significantly. And I might be able to just take Clark down without a whole lot of competition, because he just expanded. That was a terrible idea. He buys me and then expands. It's like putting up a giant sign that says, hey, I just made myself important to you. Oh no, I'm dead. It was an issue. It was a bit of an issue. Oh, Bradbury's going to go after us, but he doesn't have the cash for that. So, yeah, and he noticed, too. He was like, oh, no. Actually, that's a terrible idea. You can see that we actually have so much power production online after we bought Aja. That power's coming down during a shortage right now. So we need to get out of this fairly quickly is what I'm saying. I'm actually going to start an electronics short. And I'm going to start a fuel surplus. There. That'll work. A fuel surplus. And I'm going to get out of all of this, move into all the electronics in the world. I talked about a carbon short too, but we just haven't done that at this point. And then I'm going to work on acquiring Bradbury. I'm going to turn off all of my food nonsense, right? I'm going to get out of the power over here, get that back into the water pumps like I wanted to, and then I could just commit more to electronics. I'm shorting fuel, or I'm surplusing fuel. Let's go ahead and start auto supply here. Let's just do this. This should be fine. And then we'll keep up our buying of people, right? We also have a lot of power over here that doesn't need to be power, potentially. At least not all of it. Can teleport resources. I don't really care all that much. And I'm actually going to scrap this, scrap this, scrap this.
12,000.
Mine.
14.
And not an Offworld, because Offworlds are awful this game.
16.
Let's do an engineering lab. Oh, I got it for 16,000. Well, I didn't really need it that much, but whatever.
Hackers have compromised the trading service.
Oh yes, fuel surplus.
Price
Then comes the
manipulation
electronics
begins
short.
shortly.
We can also surplus... What do we want to surplus? We can surplus oxygen. Why not? We can surplus glass if we really needed to. We're probably not going to. Ooh, a water short, and that's natural. Now, a lot of people have some amount of water production like we do. You know what? I'll actually just do this for the sake of having done it. So I don't want to commit into this too hard, again, because they could be sitting on a water stockpile, but it doesn't look like either of them are. And we can tell that because this guy only has 13,000 resources, and this guy only has 7,000 resources. So neither of them can be sitting on a giant stockpile of water. So this was a fairly safe play, all things considered. We're just going for the Bradbury buy at this point, I think. Let's see. The electronics short's coming out. None of them really have the cash or the resource production to counter us in that. We could move into a little more water production here. I don't know if we need to. What I would rather do, actually, is do some of this, put down some condensers. It's been GG for a while, if we're being honest, as long as I played it out well. How much money am I sitting on? 350,000. That's enough for one guy. And Herbert will go down before long. Oh, it wasn't Aja. Tried to delete a building, pressed escape to stop current placement, then delete to delete building, but it exited me out of the game. Wow, when did that happen, Aja? I'm curious. I assume it was before. So the computer did the exceptionally dumb move of making himself a target and then making himself unable to defend himself. And that makes a lot of sense, because that isn't the kind of thing I would expect out of Aja, if I'm honest. Like, Aja's a smart guy most of the time. He knows how to play the game reasonably well, at least. So that's not the kind of thing I would see him doing. Herbert, you are, like, in my way. Would you just cut it out, please? I could upgrade electronics production. I could upgrade a lot of things, quite frankly, and they'd probably be okay. We'll just stick to electronics for now. Auto supply glass, because silicon is exceptionally cheap and we have good adjacency bonuses going on. We have a patent lab if we really wanted to use it. But I don't really see the need. We're just going to take out Herbert before too long here. And we should almost have the funds. We're not quite there yet. We might just wait for the short and then do it. Shouldn't be a problem. He is not sitting on very much cash or resources. So once again, and he's actually committed all the cash he had just into buying one of our stocks. So we know this shortage is safe. We can put everything we want to in the entire world into this shortage. I'm just going to let him have pirates because he can't actually use them. Because I have teleportation, so pirates literally can't hurt me. So I'll just let him have it. We're putting everything into this electronic short that we know is super, super, super safe because he doesn't have any resources. And we're just going to let it win the game for us. We probably don't even have to wait very long. 319. Does he have debt to pay off? He does a bit, but we have the buy at this point. Hey, we all make mistakes sometimes. I'm not a smart player sometimes. Like, seriously? Have you watched me play this game? I make a lot of mistakes. I try and own up to them when they actually happen, but yeah, look what happened that game. Power. Power happened that game. And that was pretty much it, right? I was just like, you know, Power's going a little nuts. Power's not just going a little nuts. Power's actually going completely insane. So why don't we just go along with the insanity? Aja, very similar idea, but got shut out of it a little bit more effectively than we did. And that was all she wrote.